Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, give me 2 seconds. Let me turn off the music from AWC. Oh, there it is. It turns it off itself. I love this feature. I don't know about you guys. It gets me excited. I was like, oh, I love this music stuff. So happy Monday, everyone. Hi, Emily. Hi, Terry. Hey, Tom.
Hi.
Hey, Brent. Hey, Graciela. Hi, Anita. How are you? How you been? Welcome to our Empower Yourself Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Emily.
Good morning. How you doing, Tanya? Hi, Terry. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Emily.
Well, I'm excited for Terry. Terry is doing an incredible. I think you're doing something fun this week, aren't you?
You know what? It last minute couldn't be done. But it's fine. It's a long story.
We'll talk about it later. I was so excited
Yeah.
about it. I was going to come have lunch and interview everybody.
I know. I was looking forward to documenting it and stuff. Yeah, it's cool. It'll happen again.
So, everybody, welcome to our Empower Yourself Monday. It's our episode 45. So I wanted to welcome everyone. We've been working diligently behind the scene. We're planning our really for friends and family, but our national chapter celebrates 114 years on April 8th, and because we were founded April 8th, 1909 at University of Washington. So we are one of the oldest women's empowerment organization in the United States, and we're very proud of it. So with this year, we're gonna be throwing a party. What do you think, Emily?
You know I love a good party. I'm excited. Yes, we are doing one. We're going to get everybody together in person, which we have needed for quite a while now.
But with this one is going to be a little twist because I am in the process of building. It's almost done, so we're going to do a tour. Good morning, Vicky. Our friend from the UK is here. Vicky's here too. So we're going to be. I made the room already. So we're going to finish it, and so we'll have the environment. So it'll go from different metaverse platform, but it gives you the ability to host educational classes. So it's the same layout that I've always done, like at the embassy for Empower Yourself events and stuff. But I thought that we were able to do something in person and in real and in the metaverse, that type of education, where we can reach all different women and men all over the world at the same time. And also, you never know what you can help someone start or create. And also, just attending one educational class of AWCSF can change someone's life. I'm one of those people, by the way. That's why Emily goes, who are we going to talk about? And, as you guys know, I really don't like talking about too much. I love talking, as you all know. But then when going into detail about, why did I join AWCSF, and then I became the president in 2008, and I'm still doing this stuff. And again, full disclosure, I don't get paid for this. It's all all donations, all my time, everything. Emily, Terry, and all three of us. And then, we have some other members too. Like in the past, we've done some big events. Everyone's volunteered. We donate, we raise awareness. I mean, we do it because we care. So now, today is one of the reasons I decided that I want to do a little space about myself, kind of like let people know where I'm coming from and why did I join AWCSF. Besides, it's a 114 years old organization, and doing this in 2008 with I full disclosure, I tell people this all the time. I never finished high school, nor did I finish college, but I did experience both. So, but I worked a lot. I had 3 jobs all the time. So I, never, not once did I ever say, I'm going to grow up to be a communication specialist. I never thought that was never even like, I didn't even know what communication was, to be honest with you. So I'm going to tell a little bit about myself. Then I'm going to let Emily and Terry interview me, and then you guys can grab the mic and jump up and talk and ask me any questions, because like I said, this is a full, and I didn't promote it like I usually do, but I wanted to let people know. Oh, my mic went on. Terry, I'll be right back. My mic went on.
Okay.
I don't know how my mic went on.
Well, while Tanya is getting her mic fixed, and since we have some active listeners, I'm going to do a humble brag here, because this past week, I actually had the launch events for a client's product that we have been working on now for about 1.5 years. And we had a client who came to us 1.5 years ago and said, I don't know how to do it, but we should create a vodka. I'd like to create a vodka. And we were like, all right, let's figure out how to do it. And from finding a distiller to creating a bottle to the art, down to like the brand ambassadors, outfits, planning of all of the events, the marketing, everything. My team had a hand in. We had such a hugely successful launch this past week at the Miami International Boat Show. And we launched Yacht Life Vodka, which is a brand new luxury vodka that goes on sale, right? It goes on sale February 28th. And if anybody's a vodka drinker, most luxury vodkas are 7 times distilled, maybe at maximum. Ours is 17 times distilled and then carbon filtered. So it's an extremely smooth, high-end, luxurious vodka, specifically created, bottle and all, for the yachting industry. And I'm so excited about it. So everyone should check out yachtlifevodka.com and follow us on social media. Brand new, just came out last week.
So will you be doing sampling? I used to be the Bacardi Limon. I launched Bacardi Limon back in the 90s, by the way. So I'm just kind of curious. Will you be doing sampling with us?
So we certainly will. We just did 2 sample tasting events, private tasting events at the boat show, one with Ferretti Yachts and one with Denison Yachts, and had some of their VIP clients on to taste it for the first time. And then we did a huge Yachts After Dark party for about 300 people with Denison Yachts as part of our launch. And now we'll be doing some tastings all around South Florida and beyond, and different events. And we're just, there's so much to come. So we're excited about that. And that does segue quite well into your backstory, Tanya. But I know we want to have Terry do some breathing exercises and all first.
We're gonna do. Thank goodness you remember that, because I've been just going a mile a minute, and I'm like, oh yeah, breathing. I need to breathe too, don't I? Terry, the mic is yours.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, before you start, Terry, before you start, I have to say that all week I kept playing your stuff back for my team. I was like, breathe. Everyone needs to listen to Terry. You need to breathe, because we were all so stressed out. So you helped us through the week. So, so thank you. Truly, it was awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. That's so sweet of you to mention that to me. Okay, everybody, welcome. And wherever you are, standing, laying down, sitting down, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. and exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, just gently breathe in and out through your nose. Relax your face, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Visualize the stress going down your arms, out through your fingertips. Relax your chest, your torso, your hips. Again, visualize the stress going down your legs and out through your toes. You're completely relaxed. Gently breathing in and out through your nose, eyes still closed. All I want you to visualize now is the air going in and out through your nose. And if any other to-do list type thoughts come into your mind, visualize those thoughts floating away like clouds in the sky. And you can gently open your eyes, and I have some closing thoughts. The universe gives you only the present, moment by moment. How much of your precious day do you invest in the past? Everything from your past except wisdom and love has long since served its purpose. Witness what calls to you from yesterday and why. Namaste. May the divine in me honor the divine in you. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, deep breath. I just did. Deep breath, everyone. Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
You know, I do practice your breathing exercise sometime when I feel like, and then I do this whole neck exercise,
Yeah.
and I feel like
Uh-huh.
for
Mhm.
2023, I'm going to go stop staring at my phone so much in my screen. I'm going to automate everything.
Yeah.
That's what AI is for. So I'm going to try to be less on screen because I noticed that it's affecting my spine and my neck and posture. So I think that's going to be like the
Yeah.
future of people
Yeah.
spending money on teaching themselves how to stand straight.
Exactly. Exactly.
So again, welcome everybody, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm grateful for everyone that's here. And again, I was just saying I wasn't trying to. I'm not. I didn't promote this space as much because I have this. I wanted to talk a little bit about myself because we need it because I've been working diligently building the AWC SF new website. We usually have someone that does it. And, we have the budget, we have the money, but my company's I'm a web development company also, so I just want to like be able to have just see how well each template, everything that I'm doing, how well, because what's the best way to try it on? Just things that you're working with. So one of the reason that I am having this space is so that I can have a snippet to go with our bio in each of our board member. And then we're going to vote on it because the website is so big. I would like to have um, a section for our members with their bio, connection to their website, everything. Because the more I look at every organization, every company, I just feel like everyone is their own business, their own entrepreneur. They need to like brand themselves. And a lot of time, I feel like, you join an organization to be connected, to be part of something, but also to help your career. And that's why I feel like more than ever this year that we're going to focus a lot more of our followers, our friends, and especially our members, and really empowering them. So one of the first thing I would like to share was that, what empowered me to join AWCSF. And I think, eventually I'd like to get more people to join. Not eventually, they are, but I want them to like really define the moment that they joined. Like the moment, like they go, I'm joining this organization today because I really believe what they're doing. So today we're on Twitter, but I always remember this day. It was a luncheon. I had started my company in 2006. My friends thought it was kind of weird because, I'm like a makeup artist. I'm more like the VIP dom pin. And like, like I throw parties and, like in a way that it was never kind of like, oh, you're the party girl. We can't accept you as this kind of, and then I'm kind of like, well, I used to work for Toshiba. So I think I could do anything. But I went to this women in communication event. Linda Hamburger, which I'm going to have come on too. She started the oldest PR group in South Florida. And at the time when I joined, I started my company. I got my first client, and they told me, "What are you going to bring to us?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll just deliver magazine." And Life Extension was my first client. They gave me a good retainer, and I delivered magazines. And I was thinking different ways. And then and I was like, I'm going to learn how to be a publicist because I'm really good at, getting people on the phone and talking. But then I had met Linda on her group in Google, and she sent me an invite to this luncheon at the Toyota dealership, the corporate office in Deerfield. And at the time, I didn't think much about it. And I said, no, I'm going to go here. And I'm like, I'm not going to think anything. I'm just going to show up and see what happens. Because, I didn't know anyone in the industry. But I was, I was following Linda. And I went to Linda's couple of her events. And she's like, join me, join me. So I'm like, okay. So I go there. And it was really, really cool because it was like all these women were there. But we were in this cafeteria. And it was the Toyota corporate office. I don't know, Emily, do you know what that is? The one on Deerfield? That big, it has
I
like
do. It's a big one. It's a nice one.
yeah. So I went there and oh my gosh, it was like I'm sitting there and I was talking. I met Marilyn then. Marilyn was she does yacht PR. We'll get her on too. I'm sitting there and then this gentleman came on. I just went blank on his name, but he started talking about Second Life and Twitter. I was like, oh my God, where am I? I said, this is not communication. I didn't know technology was in communication. I didn't even know what Twitter was, nor Second Life. And again, this was 2000. They had just launched 2007. He came in, he talked, he just joined. He was excited, and he was telling me stories about how in Second Life, the Linden dollars when you join there, you make Linden dollars money, their own money, their virtual money, and then at the end of the month, on a certain day, you can trade it on for real money. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. But he goes, this gets better though. Coca-Cola's in there now. I'm like, whoa. And like everyone in this, because most of us were publicists and communication specialists. And so, communication at the time was not, even though women communication's been around since April 8th, 1909. Communication is a college degree, but it's not really like a popular one. It's kind of like they say, oh, that's why people go to get a degree. But I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. And he goes, yeah, they go there. And so people who have no money joined this platform called Second Life. They created an avatar. People who knew how to play guitar in real life, they would walk through the street and pretty much play guitar, and people would give them Linden dollars. And so you had millionaires being born literally overnight on this platform. And he was talking about this, and then he goes, there's another one that I just found, and I'm going to join. And at the time I had just joined Facebook, so I wasn't like, it was okay, but I wasn't like crazy about Facebook yet. And I had MySpace too with all the sparkles. But Twitter, he told me that people are going on there, and they're just, it's only like most people are talking about what they ate, what they drank, and stuff. But interesting that part is that there's a lot of journalists are joining there, just publishing, just tweeting some of the stuff that they're doing. So I was like, really? So at the time, I was like, wow. And my company's No Agent Inc. So I always have a right hand person. So they're either my intern or my right hand that handles everything, that knows everything what's going on in my life. So I went back to my office and I had a young intern, and he was like 17, going to turn 18, and he was just excited. He didn't know what he wanted to do either. So I told him, I said, I need you to go on here and open a No Aging for me. That's my account, No Aging. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, go on there. And he didn't really do it. And then that was like, we didn't think much about it. And then he didn't even do it actually. And then like almost a year later, like almost 6-7 months later, that's when we did it. He did it. And I went on Twitter, but I'm telling you right now, I really didn't care for Twitter. But Facebook, I fell in love with Facebook, and that's another history in itself. But I look back and reflect back, if I didn't had gone to that luncheon and if I hadn't joined and talked to Linda Hamburger, who I ended up working with, I wouldn't have become where I am today. Because, and back in the day, back then, and I remember this too. One thing about being part of the Women in Communication at the time, they had like 10 board members. They had a huge board member. We had a media guy, huge, huge, huge board member. They all were all volunteers. And the president, she was like very upset because at the time, I think her fiance was overseas. I didn't even know what that was going on, but I was just like, I was so excited. I think I scared the ladies of the board, and I wasn't even the board member yet. I just joined because I was excited about it. But then they told me that they're doing something that they're having a problem with. They put a deposit down. They're raising money. They're trying to do this fundraiser and stuff like this. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, oh, I'll help you. And they all looked at me. I mean, maybe I took it very offensively because I was so new and didn't know anything about communication and just trying to validate myself because, again, I always had this thing like, oh, I didn't finish high school. No, did I finish college? So I have to overcompensate of what I could do, right? So they all looked at me like, yeah, so what can you do? And I said, well, I can get you Lancome gift bags. I can sell a couple of tables. They were $1,000 a piece. I can get this, and this. They're like, yeah, right. So I said, yeah, and I'll get some, because I worked at the time I knew a lot of like liquor rep, so they gave me donations. So and I said, let's just do a silent auction. Besides charging for a table, you should just do silent auction. So they listened to me a little bit. They just let me do it because what else were they gonna do? Like, they were like at it was happening within a month, and they had stuff. It wasn't like a lot of stuff. So I did it. And so they took me to lunch and, after that, and they say, so, we want you to be part of our board. So my cocky self decided to tell them that, well, I want to be your president because I realized in 2009, it's a huge year for you guys. And they're like, what do you mean? In 2009, I was like, well, I'm from Vietnam. I'm, as a girl, I was told I was never good enough. Women are never good enough to be anything except get married to a rich man. And, and if you fail the first one, keep getting married. So I always got married, but I never got married to rich men, right? Back in my early days. So the funny part about all this is they looked at me and they said, well, what makes you think you can be president? And I said, I know I can be president. And even though I didn't know anything, so guess what? They all quit. The president and I went to lunch. She gave me this little code to the really old ass the website was so old, it was really bad. And I didn't even know any. Here's the thing. I knew nothing about technology. I didn't even it would take me 2 hours to do a email. And I didn't even know what that red line underneath was because it meant misspelled word. I didn't know what that was. It took me forever. But I'm telling you right now, it was the freakiest time. I was so upset that they all left. And at the time we had like $25,000 in the bank, or 20,000. Like we had a lot of money in the bank at the time because we had made all that money and stuff, and everyone left because they really didn't believe what I was just was too excited. I think they were all tired, and they're like, "Well, why don't you build up the organization and then and if it's good, we'll come back." And I'm kind of like, okay. There's 10 of you ladies who've been doing this, but you don't want to be here because I'm coming in with some other new ideas about doing new stuff and I'm not getting paid for it, but you guys want to leave me. So there's nothing I can do about it. So I spent my time, instead of trying to learn the old school press releases or anything about communication, I learned how to do social media press releases. And I started learning about embedding. I started learning about Facebook. And because of that one luncheon, I had a vision of digital gifts. We can give somebody a digital gift and then get a real gift sent to them. So I built apps on Facebook and did all that stuff because that one luncheon really opened my eyes. And because people told me they didn't believe in the vision that I was saying I was doing. So I'm telling you, I would sit up all night and try to learn how to do this, publish press releases. We had 2 events. I remember and it wasn't just me, by the way. So I didn't just go and say, I'm going to do this by myself because it's not going to work out that way if I did by myself. So I recruited someone else and I made her co-president. So between Caroline and I, we did really well. And she wasn't working. She was looking for a job. And then she ended up getting a really good job. And then she ended up starting her own company. So it really worked out for her too. But along the way, I met some incredible people, communication people, women communication. We rocked in Miami. I don't know, Emily, if you ever got a chance to see all the events that we've ever done. But as time went on, different times. So Emily's been our second communication specialist. It's like, I mean, she's our communication director, but this is her second time around with us, actually. And I'm thrilled that she is. And I'm thrilled that a lot of the women that have been in my life, I brought on to this organization because I really believe in it. And I've literally, like, I tell you stories about going to Seattle, celebrating 1909, it was 2009, celebrating 100 year. And the main speaker thought I was being rude because I was on Twitter live tweeting her, and she stopped her talk to pretty much look at me and say, "Why am I on my phone?" And I was just like, "Oh my God, I'm tweeting." So now here we are in 2023. Could you imagine not being on Twitter? Could you imagine not having social network? Could you imagine not having any of that? And so when I tell people women in communication help create who I am today, I taught myself, but I really had a lot of people taught me. Like Emily taught me a lot. Terry's taught me a lot. Terry's taught me how to breathe. Terry's taught me, I listened to Terry. Terry would tell all the stuff that she's gone through. And she's so perky and happy. So I feel like, when you meet people, it's always a reason why you met them, right? They come into your life for a reason, they leave for a reason, they come back for a reason. And I feel like that's my story with, HWCSF, because I really want to step back because my thing is education. I don't really want to be the president. We're always looking for a new president. Like I told Emily, I told Terry, I just want to do communication in a sense, but more like education. Because that has always been the thing for me. And by doing this, then by the end of this year, I'm going to tell Nash, because National wants me to work with them. So I've been working with National, but it's a lot because, I'm going to start building metaverse, construction building. I'm hiring a lot of people. I'll have, I got to have a right-hand person. So it's going to be a lot for me. So my goal by 2024 is to find a president to take over. I still would like to be elected as the education, but I want to be able to have the metaverse. When I say metaverse, people still don't know what that means. It's just like back in 2007 when I say Facebook and social media, they didn't know what that mean either. So now, I'm just kind of looking at in a different way. So today, that's what my story is about. And, as an immigrant coming over here with nothing, last day of the Vietnam War, I feel very grateful for everything I got. And I don't blame anything on anyone for bad things that happened to me. But I'm very grateful for everyone that's ever giving things or take a moment to be kind to me, because I want to praise those people, because that's why when I'm kind to people, it's one of the reasons why I'm kind to people, because someone else was kind to me. So that's my story, why I joined Women in Communication. I hope you guys can understand why I did what I do. And again, we don't get paid for this. We do it because we love it. And I'm also a technology scientist. So I feel like everything I'm doing today, I'm documenting it. I'm looking at it. I'm enjoying my life for it. I don't look at it as like, oh, I have to wake up and get on Twitter and do this. Oh, I have to go do this. I have to write a press release. Now I got to go scan this damn room to make sure it's the metaverse. I don't know about you guys, but that's freaking fun. Like Emily, like you just launch a freaking, come on. Okay, guys, I met Emily. I met her on Twitter, actually. One day, Emily calls me. She goes, Tanya, I'm having a tweet up and this person's drinking too much. Remember that, Emily?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like, I need you to come get him.
I know. That's how we bonded, by the way.
That is, I know. Well, that's what I always think. If it wasn't for Twitter, I mean, like I wouldn't know you. I wouldn't know Leah. I wouldn't know so many of the people that are so important in my life now, which I met them through Twitter. And then I wouldn't know. I mean, seriously, you have kind of been the technology guru of all things like up and coming before we heard about them anywhere else. So many times over. And that's actually a question I had for you that I wrote down for today. Like, how do you keep up on what comes next? Because I always know, like, all right, this is what's trending now, right? But you always seem to know, like, this is what's the next thing. And you're like already delving into it. You have the equipment for it before we've even heard of it. So where do you get your intel? What do you look at?
To be honest with you, some days I feel like I'm psychic or someone just like stalking me on my things and showing me stuff that I'm not supposed to know about. It's always been like that with me. And I always like, Graciella's in a space, so I wanted to share. I'm an empath. Like I can sit and talk to someone on the phone and I'll start crying because I can feel them. And I mean, I just did it this weekend actually with someone really special to me. And so, like things like that. So what I do is I literally am just surrounded by incredible people. I listen to everything. I notice everything. And I remember not never doing that. I remember moving down here and not really paying too much attention. Bad things, horrible things were happening to me all the time in my life. And I used to be like, oh, this is where my life's gonna be. And I remember just going on a plane and someone gave me this. I bought this book. I mean, someone gave me. They told me about it, and I just went and bought it. It's called Celestial Prophecy. I don't know if anybody read it or not, but read it. I read this book in 1996, flying from West Palm to my only time in San Francisco, to have dinner with a friend of mine. He's like, I'm in San Francisco, I'll fly you. I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm unemployed, got nothing to do. I'm just sitting in Lake Worth, working for Ralph Lauren at the time. So I went and I read it, and in that book it says that you should always look for signs. Look for signs. So I look for signs. I always look for signs. I notice signs. People I meet, I notice them. I ask them questions because it's so cool to learn about things. But then because you never know, someone could tell you something that they're doing, and then you're like, oh, let me check this out. And then you check that out, and then it takes you to another thing and to another thing. And then boom, you discover something that's getting launched. And then you're like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then you discover another thing. So that's how I did it. And really, I mean, I'm like one of the biggest fan of Facebook back in the day. If you guys ever find me on Facebook, you would be terrified at all the live streaming, good, bad, ugly, of me talking about anything. I'm talking about look past 2020, tons of live streaming. So I think that's what it is. Just being aware of your surrounding, but being really aware of the people you're sitting next to, from strangers to someone you sit on the plane with, just saying hi to somebody. I don't know. People just tell me, and and then the thing is, I always thought it was a curse, but apparently it's a great thing. And you guys don't laugh. My head is a size extra large in men. When I was a kid, I had a really hard time with it, having such a big head. And this one doctor told me, you have a big brain. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah, this Dr. Klatz, the founder of A4M, the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. He goes, yeah, people with big brains tend to think a lot. And I'm like, they do? I'm like, he goes, yeah. And he goes, it's a good thing. So, and then it turns out that my sister's jealous of my big brain too, my big head. So she's always like, look, my head is bigger than yours. And like it's a really funny thing. So if you want to know one of the reason why, scientifically, I think because my brain is so big as far as the size of it, I feel. It could be a lot of stuff going on, but I'm always going constantly, always as a kid. I mean, in America today, I think they would have say I have adult ADHD when I was a kid and everything. I just don't believe in that shit. I just believe that if you take a lot of stuff that depresses you, you're not going to be able to open your mind. But if you eat really good stuff, healthy stuff, you have a clean brain, things will open up to you. So I hope that helps you. I just, I don't know. Things just come to me. I meet people. I talk to them. They tell me something. I'm all interested because I just have never heard of it. I Google it. And then now I do Brave. I don't do Google anymore. I do Brave, and from Brave. And then I go and look at people, and then I reach out to them. I mean, like I talk to people. What the first thing they can tell me to say? Get away from me. I don't want to tell you my story. Get away from me. So people just tell me their story. I get excited about it. I get them going. I get them excited about what they're telling me. They get going. I don't talk to them for a while. I see them later. They build great stuff. And that's like that with every startup I've experienced, by the way, Emily, like literally experienced. Like everyone I've met, they are like startup. I mean, remember Willie? Remember Willie? Yeah, you do.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Willie was like, oh my gosh. He started this whole like faith box because he's a Christian. So he really loved his faith. And it's called Faith. And he moved in New York. And it's like one of those entrepreneurship social thing where he traveled the world and took things from third world country and put it in the box as one of the things that you get monthly. And then he would donate it to the women and the men of the villages and stuff. So it we interviewed him. He did really well. So things like that. So between Emily and I, with the social media club South Florida that we are involved in the early days, all those people became like, I mean, they became founders and great things happened for them. Don't you think? I mean, I can go down the list of all the different people that I've met because of social media.
Yeah, I sit back a lot of the time and I just think like, man, I'm so proud of everyone from like our little social media club South Florida, because when you look to see where everybody is now and how far everybody came, and the fact that we still have like we don't have the same events, we don't see each other as much, but every single one of those people has everybody else's back. When you reach out and you're like, hey, I'm working on this or I need this, everybody jumps in. We have a really strong community. And again, all based on Twitter and Facebook and all of that back in the day. So yeah, it's been amazing to see where everybody has come from and where they are now. And that includes you, because I think I've told this story before, but I don't know how many times it was Tanya on the floor connecting wire to another wire to another wire, crawling all around trying to figure out how to connect projectors and computers and televisions and internet things and ethernet cords to make sure that we could stream and that we could give members the access to the information at the events no matter where they were. And you were doing that a long time before Zoom and everything. So I've always found that very impressive, and look how far you've come, because now you are still just on top of all the technology. You just have people to crawl around on the floor for you.
Now I'm gonna go in the virtual world further. But the funny thing about all that, the equipment, everything, and I still have this one equipment. So I got into karaoke back into like 2007, and it was kind of, I think I wanted to just torture my friends and also torture myself because it was really uncomfortable. Emily, remember we did that karaoke event? Did we do a karaoke event? Yeah. Did we do a karaoke
Well,
event together?
we did a lip sync for your life event. So we had lip syncing instead of karaoke, remember?
Yes, that was such a
Yep.
good. It
It
was
was
at the club in
so
Fort Lauderdale, that dinner
yes,
restaurant, my
yes.
friend's restaurant.
It was the non-networking event. So you couldn't talk about what you did. You had to talk about who you are. And that I love that. That was like one of my favorites.
But I had this karaoke old machine that took tape and the DVD, and I would loan it out to everybody. That karaoke machine was driving from Miami to Boca to West Palm. Like anyone that needed it, I'm like, just meet me here on the side of the road. I'll just throw it at you. You pick it up and then give it to this other person. They're doing another event. So it literally like traveled. Like I think I've only used my karaoke 3 times because I bought it. And then Alex would be like, oh, we're doing this event. We need a mic, Tanya. And I'm like, oh. And you know what? Microphone was like a thing for us. Like we were like always looking for microphones at our networking event because it went from like just having a random tweet up with Chris at what is it, the Stone Crab place in Miami. There's like 12 of us with Carlos Miller and Alex and all of them, and then to like 100 people or 200 people, and then to FIU, when they start doing their events there. So I'm going from just having no one believing in us to finding each other. I think that's what it is. We found each other. I think, Emily, that's what it is for us. Because at the time, when we told our family and friends and say, hey, I met this person. Oh, really? Okay. So where do they live? Oh, they live in England. Oh my God. I was telling my husband about you, Vicky. And then he's like, in England? I'm like, yeah, in the UK. And then they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah. And then, when you tell people like conversation and they hear their name, like Graciela, I tell everybody about everyone that I talk to on Twitter, like everyone. And people would look at me and ask me, like, how do you know all this stuff? And I say, if you talk to someone for the last 3 years, literally all the time, every day, almost, I mean, you just build this connection. I'm like, Emily and Terry and I have built such an incredible connection. And the things that we've done together and the things that we talked about and the fear that we've had and the things we had to deal with. And you have to realize we all are like in different generation of our lives too, by the way. So, I mean, and it didn't matter. It's not about age. I think it's all about the experience that we're having together. And that's why I feel like why I got into the next level when it comes to my company, No Aging Inc. When we're doing experiential marketing, I mean, I did experiential marketing back when I was doing, fragrance sampling for Ralph Lauren, to Caroline Herrera, to CK1, CKB, all that stuff, to saying Grand Marnier makes everything taste better. Like I did all that crap, and that's experiential marketing. Like people pop in, you sampling, you're feeling it. But to really take something and make it immerse, meaning having a whole AR experience, people walk into your restaurant, they have things everywhere that people can look at and scan and talk and share. And this is how I see our future is going to be. And then if they wanted to, places will have a virtual twin of themselves and people can go to and talk, and like restaurants can have wine, conversation and talk about tasting and stuff like that. Emily, you can do that for your I'm serious. That's why I asked you when's the next one, because I'll scan a boat for you. We're getting really good at it too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm ready for Palm Beach in March. You got to come on out and we'll get some stuff scanned and all of that, because we are looking for, we're working with an artist to create some NFTs for it and all of that. And you are definitely my go-to when it comes to metaverse items. So we will be in touch on that 100%. And I can't wait to see the virtual world you're creating. Like, I know you scanned a hotel recently and you're working on the educational classrooms or those spaces for AWC. And I find all of that so exciting. Like, it's like that movie Ready Player One, but coming to life. And I love that.
Well, I'm doing it in my church right now, so we can do our Fem Fest for the summer. So if we get hit by a hurricane, at least, I'll have a generator and stuff.
I'm so excited for that festival too. That's been a long time coming. I cannot wait for that.
So I'm making a virtual world that's my next week's project. This week we're finishing up the hotel room, and then I'm gonna give you ladies a tour real quick, and then we're gonna set up our events, and then we're scanning all next week, and then it's gonna go into construction. And then once that's built, I'm doing the inside first, and then I'm gonna do the outside. The outside, I'm hiring someone with a drone, so they're gonna. We already have drone footage, but I wanted to make sure I have everything precise in the scan. So we're gonna have a drone fly around just to get all that done. But the whole idea is just to use the space for in person, because it has screens everywhere, and then also in the virtual world. So we want to be able to provide that kind of connection for everyone. And really, and then also, we want to get some sponsorship and give everyone swags. Not everyone can get the actual thing, but Emily, have you been looking like QR code? I've been like obsessed with QR code, by the way. So QR code is going to be a big thing for me to use in my projects.
So that I can help you with, because I have had a huge tutorial on QR codes and dynamic versus static QR codes and all of that fun stuff, because we have a QR on the back of the vodka bottle that leads people to a portal of all kinds of different yachting resources and photos and video and like a whole world of yachting. And we had to learn how to create an ever-changing and really dynamic experience through the QR. So we've done a lot of research on that over the last year. And yeah, I can help you with that. I love QR codes. Everybody knows how to use. We were just talking about that this weekend. Everybody knows how to use them now. Every age, everybody. It is just like, since COVID, it has become such a natural thing for people to do. So the ease of use is there, and there's no education behind it. And so we use it for pretty much everything. And walking around town, because it was Art Winwood, like while we were there as well, not just the show. So there was a lot of art pieces that had QR codes either embedded or next to them. And then you could scan them and you had a whole different experience with the art piece and the AR side of it. And I find that fascinating. So we're looking at ways to use the QR scans in that way also, and bring more augmented reality and virtual reality into things.
So remind me to tell you about this other platform. And they're actually the people from South Florida is part of it. I found it. I think I told you it's called Metaverse AI. It's been around since about like 2015, but it has a whole AR for businesses and brand section. But right now I'm working off of Snap Lens. They have their own Snap camera. So now Snap camera, they're live streaming now. And everything is like they're pretty, and this desktop live streaming. So So if you want to live stream, you can do it that way. So I'm looking at doing that. And also the QR code. I think when back in 2010 when we had the QR code, it wasn't like a big, no one adopted it. Everybody was like, ugh. But I love now more than ever. I am going to start putting QR code on all of the videos, all of our live streams. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up, but I just noticed that if you put the QR code on the video at the end, you can actually touch it and it takes you to there. It's weird. Like I've been like just looking at stuff and I've been like messing with the so my last event that I did for my client, that helped a lot too for the registration, for the online registration, because I was promoting the promo video. And at the end, and you know, we told people to like make sure you click, you know, touch that QR code at the end. And people thought it was such a cool thing that was doing. So I'm, you know, like I said, I would love to have a class on that. I think it's an incredible usage. And also you got to be careful with the QR code too. Like I accidentally, it's interesting. You touch it and you open it, but you don't know what you're opening. So you should be careful. Right, Emily? Because I think it's a lot of stuff can be hidden. That's what they were
Yes.
saying in the NFT projects too.
Well, that's 100%. Like, don't scan every sticker you see on the side of the road and stuff that, you know, has a QR code. When you walk around, there's like QR codes everywhere. So know that it's from an actual company, artist, brand, etc., and know what you're clicking overall.
Good morning, Vicky. How are you?
Not very well today. Can you tell my voice? Not very well.
Is it cold?
Yeah, got a flu, got a temperature, so I don't know what I've got. So not very well.
Well, thank you for being here.
Oh,
I wish I
it's
was
all right.
there. You know, I've been giving you like all kinds of stuff. I'll be making pho.
Oh, bless you. I'm all right though. I survived. Beautiful story. Love it. Inspirational. You've got heart of gold. So yeah.
Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky is why I'm rushing to get this done, because I'm planning all the education, and one of them is for we're gonna do a panel discussion about TikTok, and also I'd love to talk more about like the 17-second, 15-second, even the 10-second snippets that you've been producing, and you know, because it gets a lot of traction. So I love that, and I noticed like I don't know about you guys, but have you ever get stuck in I know people get stuck in TikTok, but I get stuck in YouTube and Twitter watching those videos, you know, like I get stuck. I mean, like Saturday, I gave my brain, like I told myself, it's like me eating a whole box of chocolate. Like I'm going to sit on YouTube and just watch shorts, you know, just sit there for like a couple hours and watch shorts. And that was my treat for myself. But my brain was like mush at the end because it was just so much information. I wanted to like Google everything, you know, but I'd love to do a talk about that, because I think that is coming back. Vine is coming back, which I'm so excited whenever that happens. We should have a Vine. I hope it happens on June 30th, Social Media Day. Emily, that should be another incredible event. Now we can do it anywhere.
We should. Actually, we really should, because the anniversary from Social Media Day just came up, I think, because I was watching all the pictures and the videos and stuff from like we had that sex doctor that came in and we did the blindfold sensory experiment.
No, that was Heart Camp.
So Heart Camp. So that just popped up from the memories and all of that. We definitely there's so much cool stuff we can do.
Can I tell you something funny about those pictures? Okay, you know how old that was? That's a long ass timer, right?
I know.
Okay, so you were talking about how I would be on the floor trying to make sure everything's plugged in. I was doing that. One picture, you can see the crack of my ass. I'm sorry, but that was just
That's funny.
And then no one, and you know how many people have seen that? No one said anything to me. The person who took the picture didn't even delete it, didn't even put a sticker over it or anything. And I was like, oh my God. Didn't even notice it until like just when it came up on our memory. And I was looking at your picture and I was looking at everyone's picture and I was like, oh my God, so long ago. And then there's one picture of me on the floor trying to like fix the stupid thing, and my camera wasn't working, my Mac wasn't working, and then I saw crack. So I was like, God knows how many people I've flashed in my lifetime trying to get a live stream going.
Well, at least, you know what? Nobody said anything, which means either they didn't notice it or they're like, nice ass. No, what's it?
Yeah, but you know, I had my Bacardi game on there too. You have to look at Emily, I'm gonna find my Bacardi game. I don't even know they even have it anymore. But as a Bacardi Limon girl, that was my part of my uniform. And do you remember that was? It was like a hoop. It's like it's like a strap thing. You put it on, and it has 3 hoops in it, 3 holes for the hoops, and then there's a ball hanging down. And your goal was to like move your hip and flip that ball into one of the hoops, and you get points. That was the game at Heart Camp, and I had Life Extension sponsor the room that we were in. So we had coconut water, and we had roses for everybody. Do you remember that one? That room, and everybody was in there.
Yeah, and doing that, I absolutely remember that game. Some of the funniest videos and photos from that game. That one was great. That was a great event, truly. Like, a lot of the events that we threw back in the day were creative and immersive and brought everybody together, and it was like team building and bonding. So we got to aim for that on everything we do, whether it's metaverse or in real life. We just, because that was a special part of it. I think that definitely is what created the community.
But I think we also, I didn't go, but I donated a whole bunch of citronella candle. Did you go play soccer? Was it soccer that they were playing? It was Carla Campbell, Jackie Jimenez before she passed away. It was like a big thing. They all got together and they were playing.
It was kickball, and I did not go because, yes, I am the most unathletic human ever. So I did not join, but I did watch a game once, and it was fun because it was like nobody was really great at it, but then you could hang out and drink after. So again, just team building, community building. Everyone was so close back in the day. It was nice. And we actually only have 9 minutes left. So I also want to say, if anybody has questions for Tanya, raise your hand and come on and jump in, and feel free to ask some questions because we're running out of time here in our space.
Want to have, I have a shout out to Tanya. This is Terry. Are you there? Hello?
I'm here. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Well, Tanya has also impacted my life in a very positive way. We met, I don't even know how many years ago now, Tanya. I don't know, but we met at this studio where I taught Pilates, and we were doing an event after an event, and we got to know each other, and she invited me to the Blue, and I became vice president. But in the meantime, she introduced me to the owner of Balance for Life Retreat, where I currently work. Initially, I was there for a Pilates instructor, and it closed down due to COVID. And then when we reopened, I became sales. So if it wasn't for Tanya introducing me to Harold, I would not be having a job today. So I did want to mention that. What a positive impact she's made on my life.
And we may have lost Tanya on here, but I agree. Like, I don't think we can stress quite enough. And I feel like she's too humble to say all the things about herself, but she has impacted so many lives and empowered so many women over the years.
Yeah.
And there's so many of us that just wouldn't be where we are without Tanya. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that is in her soul to just do that, you know? It just comes natural for her to do that. You know what? I think you'd be good for this, or I think you'd be good for that, you know, that type thing.
Yes.
And it works for me.
Yeah, she's a connector. She's what I call a keystone species, right? Because she knows all the different pieces of the puzzle, and she brings everybody together, and it's just incredible. And then I have to say, like, even outside of just professionally, like, when I've been sick, it has been Tanya who's been like, hey, here's a basket of all of the vitamins and the things and the tea and the stuff that you'd need. She's been there for my family.
Yes.
She was there. Like, she's just the kindest person as well.
Especially during COVID. I was caregiver for my mom, and she, you know, and I didn't want to bring it home to her, this, that. And I didn't even know anything about psychosomatic, you know, like you could have the symptoms and not know it. And she guided me through that process. So I took a lot of weight off my shoulders. That's another major thing. So absolutely, Emily. Yeah, we're in good company.
We really are. There's a lot of times where I'm like, man, I don't know which way to turn on this right now, or I'm not sure, definitely like what technology to use here, or
Mhm.
what's my next step on this. And then you just reach out to Tanya, and like her brain does what her brain does, and then she's like, oh,
Yep.
this is the right thing, and she's always spot on with it. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It is. We are lucky. And I see Tanya's back. Let's see if we can get her. I'm gonna mute
Oh,
for a moment
man.
and see if we can get her in here. Let's see. We're trying, Tanya. Oh, there we go. All right.
Yeah,
She should
sorry
be
about
able
that. I could
to.
hear you guys. I really appreciate you for saying all that. No, I was just talking, and all of a sudden it just died.
Oh, you did
so-
hear it? Good.
Graciela. Yeah, I did hear you because I'm live streaming. Graciela, the mic is yours. Thank you, everyone.
Well, I just wanted to reflect what everybody was saying. This should be called Empower Yourself with Tanya because you're so amazing. And I'm so, so grateful for you and for Emily and everyone in this space, Terry, Victoria, everyone. It's you all just make Twitter worth it. And I feel like I doubt whether Twitter is worth it at least once a day every day. And then I think about all of you and a few other people, and it's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. But it's so beautiful to be in this space and to learn about you even further, Tonya. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. So, thank you, Graciela. So, Graciela and I gotten to know each other. We actually have a fireside show together. First Monday of the month. We were planning to do it every Monday. It was just too much for me, but now we do it first Monday of the month. Yet I have to change the cover, Graciela. I've just been like in my world. I've been like, oh my god, I got to go back and change this. But yeah, we're doing a video show together, so that's really exciting too. And yeah, I don't know. I was just talking on something that dropped, but but again, I use Twitter Space as a recording studio, and then we cut it up, so it's not a. I don't get too upset about it. It was just funny, like losing the mic so quickly. I was just getting into it. But it's about 10:56. I really appreciate everyone for being here. And again, this space for me was like I wanted just to share people to let people know why I joined and what inspired me and Emily too. Emily, I think you and I were on Facebook at the same time because I was just like literally going through all my pictures, and then now I'm like, okay, I gotta figure how much data I got going on. I gotta download everything from Facebook and then upload it in one of my servers and put it there as a website because I don't want, I look at even my Instagram too. I need to like update all my stuff. So, Brent, how are you?
Good. You know that I will always be here for supporting you everywhere you are. And I also want to thank Terry for always having a breathing exercise because breathing is important. When I'm down, I go to YouTube and look for all the Empower Yourself Monday previous episodes, and listen to the beginning with Terry.
Oh.
And
I'm gonna give you a
Thank
treat
you,
on that
Brent.
one too, by the way.
and
Thank you,
Terry,
Brent. Yes.
your audio recording will be all over YouTube.
and I want to
Oh.
thank Tanya for becoming my friend and watching my journey, because Tanya is very uplifting with my journalism journey, and I appreciate Tanya.
I appreciate you too, Brent. And I always tell you, your success is my success, and I know that you are going to lead by example and empowering you, but also empowering millions of people, and letting them know, and then with your voice, because it's not about empowering millions of people for myself personally. I just love empowering one person at a time and let them empower millions of people. I think that's the best way to go at it.
If I hadn't come across Tanya, I wouldn't be learning about longevity regenerative medicine, anti-aging, and would have never found perpetual life. And I'm thrilled that I can join Perpetual Life virtually through Zoom because Perpetual Life is amazing. It's very educational.
Soon you can go join it in the metaverse. Once we build everything, we're gonna see who's gonna donate us some land. So it's about 10:59. I want to go ahead and be mindful of everyone's time. I really appreciate everyone for being here. Is any more thoughts, final thoughts, everybody? Let's go around the space. Let me go ahead and start with Emily. Emily, I'm so proud of you and how far you accomplished and everything you're doing today. I swear, I will always remember that phone call. I mean, just talking to someone virtually, but then them calling you and you're like, oh my gosh. And then I remember meeting you and then you coming to our events and then you became part of the board. It's like, and then learning about everything you guys do and your family and everything. It's just wonderful.
Well, it's been life-changing for me, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you for that, and thank you for recruiting me into AWC in the first place. And my final thought is for you to tell everybody where they find you on social media and how they get in touch with you.
I mean, no aging. That's
There you go. No
go
aging
to
on
any social
everything.
network, put in the word no aging, and I will pop up. If you put in my name, you might have a bunch of different people, but if you put in no aging, you know that's me. And then, of course, I have TanyaSchultz.com on Tumblr because I'm obsessed with just, making sure the branding's done. So I use that, and it's really weird, but Tumblr is giving me more traffic than anything else. Kind of strange, but that's where you can find me, no aging.
Awesome. And we got to talk about that Tumblr thing. We'll discuss that offline. But thank you for speaking with us today, Tanya. It's nice to boost you and empower you after all you do for everybody.
Thank you. And Brent, we'll go with Brent next.
A final thought, and Terry will enjoy this one, that a glorious day can happen even if you are sad.
Yes.
That's a good one, Brent. I like that.
Awesome.
And Terry?
You, Brent. Yes. Everybody just have a wonderful, wonderful week. That's all I have to say.
Well, you too, Terry. Have a wonderful one.
Terry. And Vicky, I wish I was there to make any final thoughts?
Oh, feel better.
I'm all right. I try my best to get better. But I'm fighting fit, so, try my best to fight back. Get rid of this bleeding cold or whatever it is. And I love you, Tanya. Take care of yourself. And
I love
all
you
the guys
too,
in the
Vicky.
space, please.
Vicky and I form a really tight friendship, by the way. I don't know. I felt like I've known her in my previous life or something. We just talk all the time about all kind of things. And she makes all these really cool stuff. She actually made some pictures of us together. It looked like we're in the same room. So I really appreciate your friendship too, Vicky, and yours too, Brent and Terry and Louis. Oh my gosh, Crypto God Louis. So proud of him too. And Emily, like always, I've always been saying that how proud I am of you and your Muxie PR, your company, and I'm looking forward to more collaborations with you. But my final thoughts for everyone is never, never, never listen to your naysay. When people tell you can't do it, it's not by proving them wrong, proving that you can do it, because you can. And if you can't do it, find people that believe in you, that tell you, go get it, go do it. Because when you surround yourself with people that are not naysay and they want you to succeed, you will succeed. And success is only a matter of opinion too, by the way. It's not about the car you drive. It's not about what the clothes you wear. It's really, success is how you treat people and no matter where they come from. Success is how kind you are and what you can give back to your community. That's my success. So don't listen to the naysay. Don't listen to the people that tell you that you can't do it, because they don't know. Because it's easier to say no than it is to say yes. So with that in mind, I appreciate everyone for being here. Have a great Monday and a very productive Monday. And we'll be back next Monday for Empower Yourself Monday. And again, for more information, go to awcsouthflorida.org for more information about our organization. And April 8th, this year. We're celebrating 114 years. Our national chapter is AWC Connect if you want to check them out on Twitter. But again, everyone, thank you so much. I appreciate you and goodbye. Have a great day.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.